Hey, what's going on, people? It's here. It's in your bar again. I'm coming on this third part of the blind side. It's I'm like, this part here is like, can you tell for real? You know what I mean? If somebody had to ask you, could you really tell for real? And not with all this fakery. If you had to stand before the truth and tell the truth, can you tell for real? You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying, Stacey?
Yeah.
Can you really tell for real? How do you know what's for real and what ain't? You know what I mean? How can you tell for real? So it's like, for me, it's like, okay, with what I've been doing, it's like, since I've been doing this, I've noticed, I done been down in places and just voluntarily went and slept on the street with homeless people. Just voluntarily. Excuse me. Walked out, just on faith, voluntarily. Walk off and leave everything that I've had, that I've accumulated, and walk off and just leave it, just to see. Can you really tell for real? I can. I done did it so many times, I can tell you for real. If you scared to do it at least once, you can't tell nothing because you ain't did nothing. You sit around in one spot and waited until it happened for you. You didn't do nothing for it to happen. Try it again with the same idea and see if you'll walk away from it. That's where the rubber meets the road, you understand? Can you tell for real? A lot of people don't like the way I talk. And I'm seen as being harsh. But I'm gonna tell you, the truth is harsh when you can't tell for real. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
If somebody tell you something for real and you don't know the for real yourself, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then you gonna see that person that can tell you something for real because they done it. They know you ain't real. There's a lot of people that claim to be real that you're not real. Because what's real when it comes to God is the experience. The experience of what this world would do to God's people. If you run around here down here trying to look like a king and call yourself whatever it is, walking down here, you're doing it in the wrong place. If you're down here trying to get a monetary throne built as God's kingdom, why? I'm going to go ahead and just break it down to you. This is for real. Why would God come to a place where people done took things that are given to idols, such as money, and build a throne for God to come down here and rule all of us in? When God ruled everything anyway. Think about it, what you saying. If I come around with the truth, you'll try to tear it down because I didn't go in and say, well, Philippians 45:67 says this. I don't have to do none of that. If you can take what I'm saying and then you go back in the Bible and try to find a verse to tear it down, guess what? How's you gonna build it back up? With something that's in the Bible? You're gonna build it back up with something that's in the Bible. You're gonna try to reiterate on what I'm saying about what's real with what's in the Bible that you say is real. You make no sense. You make no sense. All of those that are preaching God's word, when you're preaching these things to these people. Realize what you're telling them. You don't teach people to go out into the world and bring back to a storehouse things that are given to idols, such as money, gifts. You're catering to the very thing that you're trying to build a throne for God in a place where God is not fixing to come here. Get mad at me all you want to. Why would God come to him to your kingdom when he already got a kingdom? You want him to come to live in this? You've got to be kidding me. Just because you put on some perfume and walk around and get some homogenized corn syrup, dipped cornbread with some vegetables that were grown with no seeds, with animals that you printed off on a 3D printer and feed it to it. Man, you have got to be kidding me, man. High fructose corn syrup, hey God, he'll give you some gluten. You got to, all the people, and man, I'm gonna tell you, just hearing what I've had to hear, man, and seeing it, how it operates, I'm like, well, it's just too much. It's too much. Not when I sit where I've been sitting and seen the things that have been shown to me. I've seen some things, God done showed me some things that will flip your mind, and you would call me crazy. You would call me crazy. But I'm going to take this route until this, if you believe what I'm saying, I'll tell you, you'll see what I saw. Once you got to understand what I'm telling you first in order to be able to see what God done showed me. Cause I can tell you ain't gonna do nothing but do what they did back in any other time, call a person crazy until it's too late. Excuse me. Yeah. There go the imperfect part of me right there. Just for all them to think y'all thinking I'm walking around here thinking I'm perfect. I'm just trying to be mannerable because, I'm still human. If I wasn't trying to be serious with y'all, I'd spit that anyway, I could have did anything. I'm a human being, but I'm serious. This stuff that's coming across, man, it's like a sense of urgency telling people, hey, man, you have to check your behaviors and stop at the door before you receive anything and move any farther. This world ain't gonna go nowhere else, man. That won't be another generation of people telling you that the world coming to an end. It's him. It's actually here. And people thinking just because you hear me saying it, if it ain't happening in the next 5 minutes, then I must be lying. You don't realize that by the time you realize it's too late, late ain't never been on time. Huh? By the time it's too late, you arrive with what was too late. And ain't no more time for you. And I'm here to let you know there won't ever be another time where another generation is going to come to and tell you that God finna destroy a place that's already destroyed. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if you ain't catching what's being told to you now and trying to help others, if you disregard, then that's your response. It's your response. So if you sitting here hearing and you agreeing with what I'm saying, and you just take it for yourself, well, I ain't worried about nobody else. I get it. You better pass it out, see if somebody else get it, because you ran across it. If you run across it, then you need to put it out there for somebody else to run across it. If you're going to be selfish with it or try to keep somebody else from hearing it, then you just as guilty as the place that's going to be destroyed. Ain't no need of you running, because you standing right in the middle. This ain't no plight for you. You know, this ain't no time to be jealous. Oh man, ain't nobody finna help you get no likes. Well, I ain't trying to get no likes. I'm trying to get I'm working on this escape plan. This is an escape plan. And if you ain't want to be on the evacuation route, get your ass out the way. Because ain't nobody got time to be playing with somebody trying to build a brick wall in a path where everybody can run free. If you hanging around with a clown that's trying to tell you that this place is gonna be something, and you gonna be something in it, then you gonna be right there with that clown. Run around in the late portion of where you gonna be too late yourself. Our book, you need to find out for yourself what kind of book that God done wrote. All your life has already been pre-planned. If it's been pre-planned here, then it's been pre-planned there. If you run around with somebody down here that ain't got nothing but a Cat in the Hat book, and you got a Moby Dick novel wrote in heaven, you run around down here with somebody ain't got but 6 pages in their book, and you gonna get your whole book cut out because you run around with somebody, a cat in the hat. You understand what I'm saying? And I ain't the cat in the hat. My story wasn't wrote by me. It's going to be continued by me because it's in the worship and the relationship in the spirit that I live and continue to live on forever. You know? You're down here making plans to be on this place forever. You ain't going to want the life once you have to start living it here forever because it ain't going to look the same. You know what I'm saying? If you down here running around planting seeds and you making children after children after children, you just reassuring yourself in a place to come back to. If you gotta die 9 times to live, huh? If you gotta die 9 times to live, that means you gotta live in the same place 9 times before you can live in another place. And ain't but 2 places you can live. Heaven or hell. Now, I don't know nobody wants to get to heaven looking to die. So if you got to die 9 times to live, nigga, you got to be in hell 9 times. Because I ain't never heard nobody dying in heaven. So all them running around thinking, all this is great, bro. You better try to get your ass up out of this hell. And stop trying to make a heaven and preserve your life in it. This is for the blind of all kinds. This is the 3rd part, and it's the last time. You understand? If you need to hear it again, rewind. And I'm out.